Hey folks, I didn't really get to film much yesterday, and so I'm just gonna tell you a little story because we had lots of fun. First thing, we went to a haunted house last night. Me, Ashley, and Morgan, my mom, and her friend. The place opened at 7, and so we were like, let's try to be there right at 7 because my friend Rebecca had invited Morgan and I to go to her little dance thing, and I'll talk about that later. And that started at 8, and so we were like, okay, we can make it to both things because I hate missing things. Like when there are 2 different plans for things to do, I want to do both of them. I don't want to do one or the other, you know? We get there at like 7 o'clock, and the place that we went to is called Reapers, and it's like a haunted house and haunted maze and just really creepy and stuff. That's actually the same place that I went when I was in the 3rd grade. I recognized it once we got there. I was like, oh my gosh, this place is so scary, right? We just got there and it was all good, and we're like, yeah, we'll just do the haunted house and then we'll leave. And so we get up there. My mom's friend decides to just buy us tickets for the haunted house and the maze. So we ended up doing both. We're like, fine, let's do this. So we go into the haunted house and we're standing in line, and it's all dark and there are like black lights that are making us all glow and stuff, and it was just really freaky. And every time they let a group of people into the house, you can just hear screams, and so you're like, oh, this is gonna be freaky. Morgan was like, I'll be in the middle because she wanted to be protected by both of us, but then eventually Morgan curled up beside me right as we're walking in, and then all of a sudden I feel a face like right on my shoulder right here, and I was like, what is that? And it turns out it was Ashley hiding behind us because she was too scared to walk on the sides because things jump out at you from the sides, right? So I was like, fine, whatever, I'll be on the side. And I started walking forward because everybody was walking really slow. They were too scared to move. It's one of those haunted houses where the walls are black, and so you can't tell if they're solid walls or if they're just curtains where people will just like hop out at you. And so you're kind of just walking around, and most of the time it's pitch black, so you're like, how am I supposed to move? I don't know where I'm going. So you just kind of move and hope things don't attack you. And so we're just like walking through and stuff, and it was all pretty good. And there were many times when we would see like a figure and we would be like, okay, that's a person, that's gonna jump out at us, and we would kind of just stop moving because we're like, if we move, it's gonna jump out at us, right? And so we would just keep moving, and then we would run past it, we'd be like, okay, we're safe. And then all of a sudden it would like jump out and like scream right behind us, and we're like, awesome. There was even this one part where there was like fake bodies hanging from the ceiling, and I was just like, let's just go. And so I was like, Morgan, let's run. And so we just like ran through, and I was like pushing past them because I was like, whatever, right? And so we made it through there, and it was fine. And there was another part where there's like tentacly things hanging from the ceiling, and we were like, let's just duck under them and run through. But no matter how far you duck down, they always touch you, and so we were like, gross. And we couldn't see because at this point it was pitch black, and so we were like, let's just go, right? Worst part of this whole thing though is there's this one room that is completely just checkered walls, checkered floor, checkered ceiling, and there are strobe lights going in this room. So as soon as you step into it, it's just like, you can't tell if you're moving because there are strobe lights happening, and you can see straight through. It's like, oh, the exit is straight through that way, right? No, turns out that it isn't. They just painted the wall so it looks like it's the exit, but it's not. And another thing, there is a person in this room wearing a checkered unitard, so you can't really see them unless they move, and they slowly move when the strobe lights are going so that you can just see them out of the corner of your eye, and you try to avoid them because you think the exit's that way, but it's not. And you smack into the wall, which was me because I was being the leader at this part, just trying to get everybody to go through. And then I was like, yeah, that's a wall. And so you had to like go around, and then as soon as you get out of the room, you see figures and you freak out, and then you realize that it's a mirror and it's just reflecting your faces. I wasn't really screaming, I was mostly just laughing because the entire time we were going through, anytime something jumped out, Morgan like screamed at the top of her lungs, and anytime something got close to us, she would just scream and go, don't touch me. And I was just kind of like laughing. Like obviously I got startled, but I never like actually screamed. And there's this one part where there was this guy wearing like a black morph suit just sitting on a chair, like just like sitting there, and like you had to go around like a really tight corner to get to the next spot, and he was sitting right in that corner, and you were like, oh, time to go into the maze. Every now and then there would be like a zombie would come up beside us and like, and then Morgan was like, don't you touch me. And so it was really funny because they kept getting really close to you and like, there's this one guy that had like a really crazy beard and stuff, and when he came up I just went, Hagrid. we've lost a lot of weight. And the scariest part is at the end, like once you see the home stretch, you're like, oh, that's the exit. I can see the exit. And everybody started running, and I was like, why are you running? Then, as soon as they started running, holy crap, this chainsaw sound just... And when you run, it follows right beside you. So loud. It was overall a fun experience. We went back home and like we're just hanging out for a bit, had some pizza, and we were just hanging out and everything. And then I got to the point when it was about 9:30, 9:45, and I was like, so Morgan, you still want to go to the dance Rebecca was having? There was a dance at her church. It was like a Halloween dance, and I'm like, yes, that'll be so fun. I like to dress up and just party and stuff, and it would be great. And Morgan was really skeptical though, because she's like, church, I don't know if we should go into a church. We are not churchy people, to say the least. She was like, oh, this will be weird. I don't know anybody. I only know Rebecca. I don't know anybody else. It's gonna be awkward. And I was like, no, come on. Mormons are really friendly. Let's go. Eventually convinced her to go by running upstairs and getting into my costume and just like waving my wand at her and saying, let's go, come on. We got there and it was like, oh, we were looking around. We were trying to find Rebecca because I knew that she was dressed up as Merida from Brave, and she had like spray painted her hair orange because her hairs are already curly, so she just like spray dyed it orange. And so we were walking around just going, Rebecca, and then we eventually found her and it was great. And so once we found her, we just like, we're like, what? Let's go dance, because Gangnam Style came on, and so we were like, she just went, guys, the song is on. And so we go in there and they're just crazy. Everybody's doing the dance and it was so much fun. And I forgot how fun it was to just go to dances and rock out to music and have fun times. And there's this one part where they had this whole organized like line dance, and Morgan and I were like, what are we doing? The craziest line dance I've ever seen. It was not a normal line dance. It was crazy. Of course, I dressed up as Hermione because I don't have any other costume. Like, I just didn't really think about what else I could do for Halloween, so I'm just like, oh, I'll use my Hermione costume from last year, right? And the whole time we were there, like, nobody really said anything, but then as we were leaving, there was this one guy who was wearing, like, a Gryffindor cloak and stuff, but he didn't have, like, mascara glasses on, so I didn't think he was supposed to be Harry, and he just went, hey, Hermione! And I was like, hey, you, cool dude. And after we finished talking to that guy, we kept walking, and, this one person just went, yo, nice Hermione costume! And I was like, thank you. I really appreciate that. He was like, yeah. There was this one guy though right before we left. It was Morgan, and I felt so bad. He walks up to our little group. We were just standing there, and he went, oh, Ginny! And I was like, no, I'm sorry. And Morgan and I were like, you're so close. Really, so close. Like, you almost had it. And we were like, no, but I'm Hermione. And he was like, oh, okay then. And he was so disappointed, and Morgan and I were like, I'm so sorry. I love going to dances. It's just lots of fun because I love dancing around people. By myself, not so much, but I love just dancing around with other people. It's so fun. That's probably one of my favorite things to do. I just wish I had more opportunities to do it. So VidCon prom, that'll be fun. Get to dance with all my buddies. I'm not doing anything else today, so this will be it for the vlog, and I hope you guys all are having a great day and looking forward to Halloween. What are you guys being for Halloween? I'd be interested to know. I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. Bye!